This episode is sponsored by Torn Sports, and they are calling all pro footballers as this one's specifically for you. Torn Sports have just dropped their brand new bespoke grip socks, and trust me, these are next level. You can customise everything from your sock heights to initials, even your club logo. And if you're not a fan of grip socks, no problem, they'll remove the grips for you. It's your sock and your style. These are elite quality, and right now they're exclusive just for pros. Comment below if you want in, or give us a message on our socials. The link is in the description. Welcome back to Ball Talk with me, Lewis Bryon, and today I'm joined as usual by Noah Jones.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing, obviously the season's finished.
Yes.
So we're going to do the Premier League 24-25 alternative.
I think that's the key.
End of season awards.
There's some crackers in here.
Yeah, there is some great ones. So,
we're not doing Player of the Year, Goal of the Year.
It's just boring, isn't it? Everyone knows
boring.
it. So, for example, set the tone. Number one, coldest moment of the year.
Yeah.
Of the season.
This one hurts me.
Yeah, hurts me. We are both Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I assume we've got the same one then. I've gone with Ange saying, I don't usually win something in my second season. I always win something in my second season.
Yeah.
And then he did it out of nowhere. There was no way they should have won that.
Yeah, that's got to be the coldest moment, because they were stinking the gaff out in the league. And it's like everyone all season was saying, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why are you just setting yourself up for failure?
Yeah.
And then he's fucking done it.
I remember week in, week out seeing tweets of like, remember when Ange said this when they lose to like Ipswich and Leicester? And I was like, he's an idiot for saying that, he's going to get sacked. And then Man United let it happen.
Oh,
that's who I'm blaming for it. United let it happen.
Yeah, mate. I wanted United to win that so bad. And I hate both them teams.
Yeah. However, game's the game.
Yeah.
You got to recognise the respect.
Yeah, but
you do.
You do, but it's a dead trophy. Come on.
yeah, I know.
It's okay. It's like mid trophy.
But considering they were honking the league at that point, you've got to respect it.
Bro just wanted that clip.
He got the clip.
He got the clip.
That chat. He got it.
Oh, we even said on here all season, like, why would you say that? And
yes. Yeah, and then he did it.
Yeah.
Mugged everyone off.
Yeah, he has. Really.
Fair.
Right, number two. Best quote of the season.
Yeah, that would take it for me. However, I've got something different.
Yeah, but as a standalone quote.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a standalone quote, I've gone, and I absolutely love it. Ruben Amorim, this is the worst Man United team in history. It's unreal.
Mate, that is, if you actually deep that, as a player, that is the maddest statement.
You hate that, don't you?
I just can't get behind slating your players like that in the public.
Publicly.
Like you do it privately, fine. And like, if you want to sort of get your point across in the media that you're not happy, fair enough, you can do that in subtle ways.
You don't think it's like a motivation? It like puts you on a level playing field.
What motivation is that? Like it's motivation, then there's just straight up disrespect.
Is it not motivation to be not the worst Man United team in history?
That is, of course, motivation. But the players would know this. They're losing every week. They know they're stinking the gaff out. They don't need to be told by their new manager that they're the worst Man United team in history.
See, as a rival fan, I love it. As a footballer, thinking if your manager had ever done that, you'd have lost your head.
I wouldn't have lost my head. Listen, the head would probably be gone because you're losing games, but I would have lost respect for him, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't get what he's trying to achieve with it.
And guess what? It didn't work.
It didn't work. Of course it
got even worse.
Didn't work. Of course it fucking didn't.
Are they the worst Man United team in history? I can't remember 1907, obviously. However,
within like the Premier League era, I don't know. I reckon they'd probably join.
Yeah, they are real bad.
There was one. There's like 4 or 5 years ago. There was probably stinking out the gaff.
Yeah,
similar.
But were they 15th stinking out the gaff?
No, the Premier League position's probably worse. Than it. I did have that. That's what I went with.
Yeah. Okay.
But the only other shout, I can't remember when he said this. I think it was quite early in the season, but it was Roy Keane.
Of course.
And he went, "If you want loyalty, get a dog."
I mean, look, he's not wrong.
He's fucking right. They are the most loyal things ever.
It's just so nothing to do with football.
Yeah, it's just like you can't be loyal in football, which is probably true. Like you shouldn't expect any loyalty in football.
You shouldn't expect
it. Like pure business.
However, I do think footballers,
look at Van Persie,
and managers who are loyal get mad respect.
Yeah, but then they also get like they set themselves up for being not failure, but like being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I do get that, and that's why you should get yourself a dog, because they'll never take advantage of you.
Exactly. They can't speak.
It's a banging quote. It makes no sense, but I love it.
Yeah. If dogs could speak though, mate, no one would like them.
Do you think?
Imagine if a human didn't speak, you'd love them.
Yeah, that is true. Or they'd be like a psycho.
Unless they start like fighting you.
Yeah. Humping your leg.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. Number 3. We've got for reference, about 12 here. The Shithousery Masterclass Award.
This is beautiful.
For the player who give us basically the best wind-up moments.
Yes. And I think I've got the winner.
I think I've got the winner.
Well, that's interesting. I think I have.
I've got 2 options, but I've got one that's my...
I've got one locked in. There was no question for me.
Okay.
It was big online. You might not have seen it if you're not on Twitter, which is fair enough.
I'm literally not on Twitter.
Yeah, that is fair enough.
I do have an account, but yeah.
There was, when Liverpool won the league, not the day they celebrated, I think it was the game after they actually won it, right?
Okay.
They wanted to buy a load of red flares to set off outside the stadium. Fair play, that'll look cool.
Yeah.
An Everton fan bought a load of blue flares, covered them in red paper so they looked red from the outside, and sold them as red flares. So in this parade, it wasn't the whole thing, but there were pockets of the flares going off that were just blue.
Just imagine the confusion. Like, what? I've just bought red flares.
Yeah,
that is decent.
Yeah, and it wasn't until after that they put it on Twitter and they were like, gutted. I think that's world class, and probably made money out of it as well.
That's decent.
That's elite.
And that's not even a player. That's just a fan.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fan.
Good planning as well.
It's unreal.
Probably cost quite a bit.
Yeah, but he probably made some cash.
So he's earned money and done the other
mugged off his rivals. Yeah,
that's fucking.
It is good, isn't it?
That is good.
It is good.
My one was James Maddison.
What one?
Recently, the tweet he put out of the first part was a video of Simon Jordan, TalkSport host.
What a legend, Simon Jordan.
Basically, yeah, he's not everyone's biggest fan.
No.
But he basically said earlier in the season that players like James Maddison can't win a trophy. Basically, if Tottenham want to win a trophy, they need to move him on and get bigger players.
Yep.
And then the second half of James Maddison's tweet was him lifting the trophy.
Yeah.
Cold slow-mo edit.
Right. I do agree.
I'm just happy that happened to Simon Jordan.
Yeah, Simon Jordan deserves it. His mug. However, James Maddison didn't play in the final.
Yeah.
So is it a bit of like an empty, like, yeah, my team did it?
Yeah, but he played in games building up to
He did. I think it would have been a lot more impactful if he played.
Put a performance in that final.
Yeah, because there was like the clip of him just in his chinos lifting the trophy. Oh, maybe
John
it doesn't
Terry
hit the
vibes.
same. Yeah. It reminds me of remember when Roy Keane was digging him out on the Overlap, the podcast?
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
Many times, yeah.
And he said he's not that guy. And then James Maddison scored that weekend and clipped it. And then in the interview said, like, there you go, Roy.
Yeah.
However, it was like a 2-1 win against Ipswich that meant nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it was a bit like, I get it.
Yeah, wasn't that where he done the... he was like, he weren't going to take the interview after a game, and then he said, I'm definitely taking it now because I see it's with Roy Keane.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I do like it. I just think the moments have been made not the most shit house because it was just a nothing game against Ipswich or someone, and then he didn't play in the final.
Yeah. I'll give it the fan.
Yeah.
Although I just like to see that from players. Like, just give it
I do like giving it back. Yeah, 100%.
Like publicly.
100%.
But no, we'll give it the Everton fan.
Fair.
It's decent.
Yeah, fair play.
Number, what are we on 4?
Yeah.
The VAR Victim Award of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, we are both Arsenal fans.
Do we need a discussion?
It's just like, come on. Should be. This is a whitewash.
And
all the other fan bases are going to be like typical Arsenal crying about it.
Yeah.
But you look at that first few months of the season.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Yep.
The red cards we got.
Yep.
And the red cards other teams didn't get throughout the rest of the season for the same thing. I'm talking about Declan Rice's little tap on the ball, Trossard.
Do you know what annoys me about the Declan Rice one? People still go, well, that's the laws of the game. Yeah, it is until it happens 10 times in the next 2 weeks and nothing happens because of it.
Yeah, and it happened like 2-3 times straight after that, didn't it?
Yeah.
And they didn't get...
Yeah.
There was...
But that weekend, Liverpool player, I think, absolutely punted it across the box after the whistle went 3 seconds earlier. Nothing. Man United, I think, did it the same game. Nothing.
We're not saying it's not a red card, but just why the other team's just not getting consistency.
Trossard then got it, didn't they? Saliba got the last man.
Yeah, the last man
Van der
one.
Ven didn't get the next week. Yeah, I do get that. Let me, just so we don't seem like absolute victims, like everyone says Arsenal fan are, let me just throw this one out there. Villa in the last game of the season.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
The ball not being in the keeper's 2 hands. I can't remember who it was. Was it Morgan Rogers? I can't remember. Who got rid of it out of his hands, I'm saying inverted commas,
Yeah.
and then scored, but before the ball went in, the ref blew the whistle. Brother, don't blow the whistle and deal with it after with VAR.
Yeah.
That's what VAR's for.
They're literally taught to do that now.
It's mental. So they would have gone 1-0 up against a shit Man United and potentially got Champions League football, which they now don't have.
That's up there.
That is brutal. He blew the whistle.
As a one-off, that's big.
Yes.
But the collective for Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because there's even times where, what was it, Van Dijk should have been sent off.
Oh, for stamping on Havertz twice and that. Yeah.
Just fucking,
Yeah.
just head stomped him.
Yeah, he did.
Near
He
enough.
really did.
So who are we giving that to?
I mean,
I've got to give
absolutely
it to Arsenal. Yeah, I've got to give it to
100%.
Arsenal. Okay, we'll go Arsenal. Number 5, bit more standard this one, but manager of the season outside of the top 6.
Yeah, I've got one with an honourable mention.
Yeah, same.
Honourable mention's a bit rogue, so let me start with that. Vita Pereira for Wolves.
You're right.
Yes,
That's
they
rogue.
finished 16th. Yes, correct. However, they had 9 points from 16 games when he took over. If you're looking at 9 points from 16 games, at that point, you're like, they are going to get relegated. Took over, didn't get them relegated, and aren't playing the worst football ever. I just think that's a good takeover.
I think he's done good.
They should have been down,
Yeah,
in my
but
opinion.
It wasn't the whole season.
No, it wasn't.
And also, they are 16th.
Correct. That's why it was an honourable mention. My actual one is Nuno.
Nuno.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, you
I
can't
know
argue.
at the end they tailed off a bit, but I think that's down to just not having the depth.
Yeah.
Like they've got some
not down to
great
him,
players. You look at their bench, it's not a top 4 bench, is it? And I think after the Tottenham appointment where he was in and out quite quick, to go to Forest and do what he's done, I like watching them.
I like
when
watching
you play
Forest,
them now,
man.
you're a bit like, well, this isn't a guaranteed win. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which it would have been 2 years ago. I think he's class.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. My one is, my honourable mention was Iraola for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Just because start of the season they went on a mad run and
Yep.
they were smacking all the big teams.
Yep.
Back to back they beat Arsenal, City, and
Yep.
it weren't like they beat them and got by it. They actually deserved the wins.
100%. I remember that was when like Semenyo was one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
At the time, wasn't he?
he was
a joke.
ripping it up,
He was
mate.
a
Yeah,
joke.
both feet just smashing it.
Yeah.
So I think they've done decent. They obviously, I think they dropped off a little at the end as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But I think it's just squad depth, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard
the
to maintain.
lesser
yeah.
teams, I say, without meaning to offend anyone. Yeah.
But I went Oliver Glasner, Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah.
Just because.
Wonder why you did that.
No, there's valid reasons there. There's
is,
merit
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they won the FA Cup, their first major trophy ever.
Against City, which I think everyone forgets.
Yeah, exactly. Against City, and like I said with Bournemouth, it weren't a scrape by win where we're sitting in and just got lucky on the counter. They probably deserved to win that match.
100% they did.
Yeah. So they won the FA Cup, and also they started the league quite poor off the back of a good end to the
Yes,
previous
they
season.
did.
And brought it back.
Yeah.
Their form.
It was when they lost Elise, didn't they? Wharton was injured for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it was looking rough for a time. And then they've come back. I mean, yes, they could have finished a bit higher, I think. They're probably not going to be buzzing about that
but
league
they're locked
finish.
in that 12th position.
Exactly.
forever.
FA Cup, which now means European football. For
Yeah,
Palace.
I see something though. They get it. They might not get it.
Oh yeah, they've got affiliated owners with Lyon, which means they're not really supposed to play in same competition.
Yeah.
But I can't see them enforcing that and kicking them out. It seems a bit brutal, doesn't it?
Yeah. Fuck
But
knows.
he got them there.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I'd like to put Glasner forward for that one.
100%. I do wonder what they'll do when I think they'll lose.
Do you think they lose Eze?
You've got Gahey, you've got Wharton, you've got Eze. I
don't think Gahey's going.
Mateta. I think there's some players to be had there. A couple I
Mateta's
wish
not
for
going.
Arsenal. No, Mateta's not going anywhere.
He's Palace, man.
United would take Mateta though. You've got to think about that. But would he go there?
It'd get worse.
But Eze and Wharton I'd sign tomorrow.
Yeah.
Both of them for Arsenal.
Wharton definitely, but he wouldn't play. Eze, yeah, I'd start. They wouldn't
Outside
play,
of
though.
Arsenal, I think Eze is my favourite player.
You'd have to play him on the wing.
Yeah, fine. And then he can deputise Odegaard when Odegaard's not playing.
Maybe. Anyway.
Question.
Yeah, don't have his number. Right, what are we on? Number
6. Yes.
most underrated player of the season.
Yes.
Interesting.
I've gone for a legend.
I've got 2.
Okay.
Go on. I'll tell you my first one.
Yes.
Which everyone's rated him highly, but I still think he's mad underrated, and that's Timber for Arsenal, Urian Timber.
100%.
Because I'm so shocked with how fucking good he is, man. He's like 10 out of 10 defensively. Like he just don't get beat 1v1s.
Nope.
High energy, and then usually with them sort of players, they just that maybe a little bit
off it when they're on the ball or going forward.
100%.
And he's exactly just as good.
I think you see that a lot. You go like, this fullback's been unbelievable going forward.
Trent.
Yeah, not great defensively, or unbelievable defensively, but what does he offer you going forward?
Yeah.
Timber is a joke of a right back, then he inverts and he's unreal in midfield.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's right wing, he's all right there too. Silly player, silly. On the back of an ACL, by the way.
Yeah.
A year out ACL, you shouldn't be this good.
No, doctors literally tell you that. They literally say you're going to be like, it's going to take you a year to sort of get back to full speed.
Really?
You sort of see it with Van Dijk a bit when he
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But he's obviously not.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
And also, the only bad thing about Timber is he gets injured a bit, but
yes,
not always his fault.
I do also think what has been tough this year is that Tomiyasu has disappeared.
Yeah, where has he gone?
I have no idea. Hope he's okay. Ben White has been injured for a lot of it. So I think when you would normally go, right, Timber, you're playing these 2 games, then you're going to have a rest.
Yeah.
He's come back off an ACL and just basically played the whole season,
like
which
most
is
of our players.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah, I like that shout. I'm going for my one and only.
Yeah.
I'm going for an Arsenal player.
Underrated. I know.
Can you guess it? Yeah, underrated.
Oh, yeah, Marino.
Yeah, Mikel Marino, brother.
Yeah.
Right. When he first joined, I was like, he's going to be very good in midfield. I like him in midfield. So I think he's so calm. He's got that like Busquets calmness on the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's as good as Busquets.
No.
However, didn't offer too much like going forward, did he? Maybe got a bit caught going backwards.
When it's all in and around him, he's great. Yeah.
Yes, agreed. Then you put him up front, and he scored what, like 7 and 7 after January when we were crying out for a striker. Can you imagine?
Clinical finishes, by the way.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Imagine if we signed a striker and they got 7 and 7. Everyone would go, what a signing.
Yeah.
But everyone was going Marino's track. No, he's not.
Yeah, he's so good, mate.
So good. When I think Trossard played up front for one of the games, at like 40 minutes in, I was like, we need Marino up top. Like, why am I saying that?
Yeah. Mate, his finishes, though, he was scoring goals that Havertz would not score.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, agreed.
He was holding the ball up well, good in the air.
So
oh my God,
he's
sick in the air.
He's got that tidy midfield finish, which you talk about. Like midfielders can just pass it into the bottom corner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got that, man. He's sick. But is he underrated, though? Because I'm rating him.
I think we rate him for Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
I think just because of what happened, everyone's gone, nah, he's shit.
Yeah, fair.
Actually, if you take away the joke of it,
front,
exactly, he's done well.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
My main shout was Munoz for Palace, right wing back.
A joke.
Underrated, just because he's like, mate, he's engine, by the way, up and down every single game. And he's solid enough on the ball where he's not going to let any team down going forward.
Correct.
But he's just an absolute tank. Like, he got man of the match in the FA Cup final, didn't
Deserved
he?
it.
Deserved it.
Up and down, like you say, up and down is crazy. And I think what makes him underrated is that if you ask the casual, like, what do you think of Munoz? They'd go, oh, I've not really watched him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
Just the Palace right back. Like,
he's like your typical like middle table right back, but then you actually watch him play,
Yeah.
and he's so sick.
Yeah.
Man.
Again, wouldn't be surprised if a Man United or someone jumped in.
Yeah, I hope not. I think he's good where he's at.
Yeah, very good where he's at. You don't want to take too big of a jump, do you?
I just don't think that, with a team that will dominate the ball or have that,
Yes.
like, he won't be as
He
good.
needs to be able to run up and down, doesn't
he? But yeah, who do you want to go for? Or should we'll just leave them both there?
Leave it up to the comments.
Yeah, leave it up to the comments, okay. Number 7.
Yes.
The He Cooked award of the season. So basically for the player who went on a mad bit of, mad run of form unexpectedly. I'll start just because my main one you've already mentioned, and that is Marina.
That's actually probably better for that category.
He cooked, mate. And unexpected form.
It was a joke.
Because Marino, was he improved? Or he's obviously already had that.
Yeah.
But he's just, no one expected him, like you said, to do well. So for all the same reasons.
Actually do well at striker.
Yeah, he's cooked.
Mad.
He's literally cooked.
That's fair. I've gone Marmouche.
Marmouche, yeah.
He's not been here for long, but I think the general consensus is that not many people knew much about him.
Yeah.
I think you can say he's a good player. You've seen that online, right? And that's fair enough. You've not watched him week in, week out. Haaland dipped off. De Bruyne dipped off. Grealish and Doku weren't really doing it. And then he's scoring absolute goals of the season.
Yeah.
Was it against Bournemouth?
Yeah, that was
40 yards.
That was so
absolute
good,
joke.
But he did fumble the FA Cup.
Yes.
He had a couple chances. The one where he sort of could have taken it on his right and he's tried to take it on his left or vice versa. And then
the pen, he took the pen, didn't he?
And the pen, yeah.
All right, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your one then?
My main one is Chris Wood. just because.
Yeah.
I think it's still unexpected because like people just think it's patch of form.
Yeah.
Like, he's just maintaining.
He's
his
not
form.
stopped, has he?
Yeah, he's actually that good.
Does he continue that next season?
I don't know, but he's cooked this season.
He has cooked this season,
and he's like, I think it's known like he's got the best shot to goal ratio in the league.
That's mad, isn't it?
He's like
absolute, by the way, Barclaysman.
Yeah,
he is prime.
He's that typical like Sunday league, non-league player that you think like, oh, if he was a bit fitter and quicker, he could play Prem.
Just a big lump,
because he's scoring so many goals.
Yeah,
but he is playing Prem.
Yeah. I think that's the best shout.
Yeah, Chris Wood.
100%.
He needs to get subbing.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Breakout star.
Yes.
I've gone with someone that I think there wasn't much competition. Morgan Rogers. Very
absolute
joke.
He was decent last season.
He was.
Yeah.
However, didn't play in the Prem
this season.
Wasn't in the Prem.
Was he not?
Was it Middlesbrough?
I'm thinking the start of this season.
Yeah. Was obviously good at Middlesbrough, but no offence, he's Middlesbrough. This season, he's been their guy.
Yeah, he's
do you remember like Coldest was it last season?
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins season before. Mate, most top teams are thinking, how do we get Morgan Rogers in?
Yeah.
Can play at number 10, can play at left wing. Young, so good, man.
He's well young, isn't he? How old is he?
22, I think he is.
That's mad.
Silly.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
And you're going to get 75 mil for him if you try and sell it, if you try and buy him. Do you know what I mean? This transfer window, easy.
Yeah, 100%.
He
At
looks
that
quality.
age, stupid money.
He looks quality.
But I have bettered you.
Okay.
Breakout star, Lewis Skelly, man. Miles Lewis Skelly. That's the definition of a breakout star. Like he didn't even play first team football before the season. Not even at the start of the season. Comes in, just looks like he's played left back for 10 years.
Yeah, he's
like
not a left back.
Cole. He's never even played left back.
It's crazy that is, by the way.
And he's 18.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, maintaining them good performances and playing for England and scoring.
Yeah, mad.
Like, you can't get any more. What else could he do?
I think at that point, everyone was going like, oh, he's only had a few good games. He's not that good. Lewis Hall's been doing it for a year. And everyone was like, oh, shit. Okay, maybe he's...
But his level's been better than Lewis Hall, man.
I agree. I completely
he's like
agree.
Ashley Cole.
I like that I mean this in such a respectful way, a bit of a knob. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he just plays with that sort of confidence, arrogance.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's like, if you're in a 1v1 battle, I'm going to win this.
Yeah, crazy.
Battle.
Not been dribbled past once in the Prem.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's only like 3 players this season that have done that in the world.
Wow.
Or in top 5 leagues. And he's not a left back. He's 18 years old. Do you know the thing that gets me? He's 18 years old, and you and Ken always say the hardest thing to do is go from under 18s football to adults football because you just get bullied.
Yeah.
You can't get him off. You can't get him off the ball.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got that young, like, I don't want to say like almost naivety, confidence.
Yes.
Which you see when players do break on, they all have that.
Yeah. If you gave it to like a Trippier with 2 players behind him, in his head he's going, well, I'm obviously not turning these. I'll play back to the keeper. Lewis Kelly's turned him and he's gone.
Yeah, because he's not been in the game long enough.
Yeah.
In 10 years, he's probably not going to turn.
Yeah, agreed.
It's like when Rashford first on.
He is absolutely Ashley Cole-like.
Yeah.
However, he is a midfielder.
He played midfield. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
I think you always play these more dominant positions or involved positions as a kid when you're the best player. So he'll play midfield growing up in the under-18s or in the academy at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then you find your true position when you move. It can be the same, but when you move to the first team football and everyone's that good.
Got
you. Know
you.
What I mean? And I think he's found it. I think that's his position, man.
Do you not think like a Rice, Lewis Skelly double pivot and then Calafiori at left back is not like a dream?
I think he could play there, but it's not like positionally. I think he'll be better at left back, and also he'll stand out as a left back because he's got attributes that loads of left backs in the world don't have. Whereas if he goes centre mid, he's going to like in the Prem. I don't think he's going to stand out nowhere near as much.
My only worry is that he doesn't want to play left back.
I don't think he's going to fucking mind if his contract starts getting 2 zeros on the end of it, extra zeros.
I'm worried that like PSG go play midfield for us, and he goes, I am a midfielder.
We've seen that before with someone at Arsenal. Remember, he was a winger. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
That is true.
That's what I'm saying. It's not always ability on the ball. It's positional sense, reading the game. I think he's obviously done it, but for me, he's like almost too sharp, quick, high sprint speed, agile for a centre mid.
Yeah.
He's got too many attributes.
His issue is that he's played so well that you can't move him away from there now.
And you don't want someone who's so good at who just gets the ball and turns all the time into 2-3 players.
Yeah. I do get that. But yeah, breakout star, Lewis Skelly. Yeah. Fair.
Most improved player. It's very similar to sort of the breakout star, I suppose.
Yeah.
I have gone with the Bournemouth centre back, Hodgson.
Huijsen. Yes, because just gone to Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's a serious player.
Yeah,
and he's got a build that you don't see. Like, his profile isn't what you see in a modern day centre half. Like, he's not rapid, is he?
No, he's also not like a unit.
No, he's quite slight, slim, tall, but reads the game really well.
Yeah,
and is really good on the ball.
His footballing IQ at his age, I think he's 19, is madness. And he's gone from Bournemouth for 15 mil to Madrid for 50 mil. Do you know what I mean?
Sick.
He could be like, you know, when you look at players and you look at the club they're at, and he's obviously now at Madrid, and you think you could be one of the best centre backs in the world for the next 10 years. Yeah. Completely agree. Yeah,
he's sick, man. Who have you gone?
I have gone most improved Gravenberch.
Yeah,
Gravenberch has probably been one of the best midfielders in the league.
Facts.
Sixes, definitely, if not the best. And last season, I was just a bit like, he's all right. Do you know what I mean? He didn't do anything magical.
Sort of taken the love of the Liverpool fans away from Trent to him.
Yes, yeah, agreed.
He's like filled in that role, although it's a different position.
Yeah.
And he also stopped Trent. There was a time where Trent was coming into midfield loads, like even playing there sometimes.
Yeah, because he wanted to, didn't he?
But he's obviously stopped that.
Yeah, he's been so good, and I think Van Dijk is obviously ridiculously good, and I'm not taking anything away from Van Dijk. But what Van Dijk likes to do is back off players and let them run at him.
Yeah.
No one really has the ability to do that now with Gravenberch in the six.
Yeah.
I think he just locks it off. I think he's quality.
Yeah, that's decent. We'll leave them both there.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll decide. Number 10, got 3 more. Pundit of the season.
You're not going to like mine.
Why? Over Roy Keane.
Yeah. He's just so entertaining.
Yeah, it depends what we're going off with Pundit. Like, what are you basing this off?
I assume you might go like technical. I'm going off pure. Who would I want to watch in the middle of a football game? You know, half time we're like, I'm going to go for a piss. I'm going to get some food.
Yeah.
If Roy Keane's there, I might not.
I see what you're saying.
He's funny.
But I've actually gone no one. I'm not giving a Pundit this season.
You hate all pundits.
They've all been shit. I just think, like, if you're going off like a good pundit who's good at their job, then there's probably like 3 or 4 that are on par.
Would you not give it to like a Thierry? Who's
but he's not in the Premier League, is he?
Yeah, that's true.
I'd give it. I don't mind a Jamie Redknapp.
Yeah,
but I like Rio.
Do you know the best pundits are
Joe Cole.
Joe Cole's all right. The best pundits are when managers come on for like the night.
Yeah,
and like Thomas Frankel. Do you know what I mean?
The detail there.
Yeah, they are the best. I don't love to listen to pundits because I think, like we've said before, it started to become a bit clickbait with what they say.
Yeah.
And they are just biased towards their team. Like Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville have done very well in their jobs. However, they do just love Man United and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work as a pundit. Roy Keane doesn't really care about United. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I like him. Yeah. I think he's quality.
Yeah. I had Noah Jones down here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Ridiculous player back in his day.
Yeah.
And you can see how he reads the game. Yeah, we'll put it Noah Jones.
Yeah, okay, move on. Yeah. 11.
Yes.
Biggest bottle of the season.
Yes, been really excited about this one.
Do you want to kick us off?
I do.
Go on.
Man United Europa League.
Yeah, Man United done.
We don't even need much of a discussion. There's no way you lose that to Tottenham.
Yeah.
There's no way.
And partnered with your stinky league performance.
Yes.
That is, you've just bottled it massively.
The season as a whole, basically. I picked Europa League, but I guess the season. Mate, going into that against, even though you are playing badly yourself, going into it against Tottenham, you must be thinking like, beautiful.
This is fucking great.
This is great. Maguire's banging in headers. You've got Bruno Fernandes in the middle. You must be like, yeah, this this us.
Yeah.
And they didn't. It was like a YouTube charity game.
It was such a dead game.
It's like a sidemen match, wasn't it?
I didn't even watch most of it, or any of it.
It was awful. I've spoken to so many Tottenham fans after, who, when I've said like that was the worst game I've ever seen, thought they'd go, "You're just bitter." They've gone, "Yeah, it was terrible." Wasn't it? And they're not supposed to say that to me.
United are just they're just getting worse and worse every season, man.
What do they do?
It's
now?
Actually comical. Yeah, what do they?
Well,
do?
at the time of recording, they've signed Cunha. They look like they're about to sign Bryan and Burmo. How?
Why?
But also,
first of all, why have them players gone there?
There was a clip on Twitter, I can't remember who did it, but it was of like Cunha's best bits this season.
Yeah.
And someone said in 3 months' time, Man United fans will be tweeting this saying, "Where's he gone? What did we do to him?"
Thing is, like, if I was in their position, it would be in my head seeing all these good players go United and then being shit there.
Yes.
Or like not performing. It would generally be in my head, but I suppose when they see the badge and the name of United come in for you and the money, it's hard to turn down. They're still a massive club.
Yeah, they are.
And you always think, oh, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah, I just don't really get the Bryan and Burmo one.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen reports that, like, Arsenal like him, but he would obviously play back up to Saka. And I don't know if this is true or not, but he said, or he has told people around him that he could bench Diallo quicker than he could bench Saka. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Which I do then understand. However, Brentford finished above Man United.
Yeah, you've gone down. You've dropped a level.
Europe. No Europe.
Yeah, no Europe.
I feel like they
could get relegated next season.
I feel like they could have done a Villa or a Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? And played in Europe, but
money talks.
There's it. Yeah, exactly. It's not done yet.
I also went United, by the way.
Yeah, because they're shit.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. The last one.
Yes.
Now, for the loyal listeners, they can join in. But the best ball talk comment of the season. Yeah. So this would be generally for our clips we put out on Insta or TikTok or YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
Mainly TikTok and Insta.
Yeah.
That's where the comments roll through.
If anyone's been in our comment section, you will see me arguing with everyone because I love the abuse. Right? Yeah. If you've ever got any abuse to send me, please do it in the ball talk comments, even if it's personal, because I love it. And I was looking through it and I was just cracking up the best comments. Yeah. Unfortunately, my favourite comment ever of I just rang my uncle who's a Palace season ticket holder and he's never heard of you was last year.
Oh, was it?
The end of last year? Yeah.
Wow, that was
it was this season. It was this season.
Oh, okay.
So you can chuck it in there. Yeah. But I've gone something this year.
Okay.
And it absolutely kills me. And it's actually from you.
Yeah, I think we've got the same.
Oh, have you done yourself?
It was a two-way thing.
Yeah. So let me set it up. So we were talking about would you rather go to Saudi for 200k or Premier League for 30k?
Yeah.
Someone commented saying no Prem player only earns 30k a week these days. Maybe like Southampton or Ipswich. And you just put with like no punctuation or anything. So they do then.
Oh, he set me up, mate. He just threw ball to me.
And again, if you've just missed that, let me go again. No Prem player earns 30k a week. Maybe Southampton or Ipswich. So they do.
No, they do.
There's nothing else you can...
You just named two Prem teams.
There's nothing else you can say apart from so they do.
Yeah, well, they do then.
That's so good.
I've got the same, and that has to be the best comment.
It's
Although
unreal.
We had tens, if not hundreds, of great comments.
Oh my God, they're incredible.
Yeah.
The best thing about doing a football pod is the football opinions.
Yeah. Yeah, we do love the comments, so keep them coming in.
Absolutely, they're entertaining.
Good or bad. Mainly good, though, if you want.
I can take the bad ones.
Yeah, aim the bad at Noah. Good at me. Okay, lovely. That's it. Well, we'll leave it there.
Absolutely.